Hey y'all, come on in and have a seat at the dinner table. I'm taking it all the way back to those good old fish fry days. One of the family members asked if I could cook fish this week, and that's exactly what I'm doing. That's what's on the menu. So speaking of menu, let's take a look at everything that I'm cooking today. Now, I will admit that I was a little hesitant about cooking catfish or any kind of fish because the last time I cooked fish, my middle son had a severe allergic reaction. We almost ended up in the hospital, had to call the paramedics and all of that. So that's why I was a little hesitant about cooking it at first, but I was like, if I'm very careful, if I wash everything and keep his food separate from what we're eating, then I think everything should be fine. But yeah, that was the day we found out that he was allergic to fish. So it's been a long time. It's been years since I've cooked any kind of fish in this house. And the time before that, my husband and I got so sick. We thought we was going up to glory, y'all. We had a bad batch of fish from Kroger and we were so sick, y'all. We couldn't do anything. So my experience with cooking fish has not been the best, so that's why I was a little hesitant about cooking it. But I'm going to give it a try because I'm not the type of person who gives up easily. So I'm going to give it a try, and y'all, I'm praying that I or my family don't get sick from this fish. So needless to say, our experience with fish has not been the best. So hopefully, praying that everything turns out like it's supposed to turn out today and no one gets sick, no one ends up in the hospital, and all is well this Soul Food Sunday. Since my middle son Braden can't have fish, what I'm going to do for him is make some hickory barbecue boneless wings. He loves Wingstop, so I'm just making the knockoff Wingstop boneless barbecue wings for him. But anyway, let's get in this kitchen and get to cooking. As always, I'm starting with dessert first because it takes the least amount of effort to put together. My family loves strawberry cake, so I decided to make that, and plus the boxed cake mixes are $1.24 at Joe V's Smart Shop, so I racked up. I could not pass up on that deal. So right now I'm just combining all of the ingredients together. I'm following the baking guidelines on the back of the box, and it says to bake at 350 degrees between 33 and 36 minutes. I went with 34 minutes. It's been 34 minutes, and now I'm going to do the toothpick test to make sure that it's completely done. So now the cake has cooled down enough for me to take it out of the pan, and I'm going to let it completely cool before I put icing on it. So now I'm going to make the glaze for the cake, and the ingredients that I'm using are vanilla extract, powdered sugar, and milk. I don't have specific measurements for the milk. It's based on how thick you want your glaze to be, but I did use 1 full cup of powdered sugar, and I'm just adding milk to get it to my desired thickness. Then I'm going to add a cap full of vanilla extract, and I'm just going to mix everything together to get it to my desired consistency. So rule of thumb, whenever you are making a glaze, add the milk a teaspoon at a time, and from there you can eyeball it because you will know how thick or thin the glaze is once you stir everything together. If you're wondering what makes a glaze different from icing, well, for one, a glaze is thin and runny while icing is much thicker. You can put icing in a piping bag and decorate with it, while a glaze is much too thin to do anything like that. This is how I was taught to put glaze on a cake. You just take a spoon and spoon it on there and let it run down. I definitely wanted my glaze to be a little bit thicker than this, but you know what? That is okay. are the spices that I will be putting in the collard greens. We have a teaspoon of chicken bouillon, a half teaspoon of black pepper, a half teaspoon of salt, and a half teaspoon of red pepper flakes. These are not the measurements that I typically use when I make fresh collard greens, but since these are frozen, I'm starting with smaller measurements and then I will adjust as I go, which means that I will have to taste it to see what more I need to add. I'm sauteing my bell pepper and onion. I started with the bell pepper first because it was frozen. Off camera, I poured 2 cups of the chicken stock that the ham shank cooked in into a measuring cup because the instructions on the back of the frozen collard green package said to use 1 cup of water per bag. Since I'm using 2 frozen bags of collard greens, I'm doubling the measurements. I'm going to let this cook down before adding all of my seasonings. You know, sometimes you just have to cut corners to save time in the kitchen. And my way of cutting a corner was to use a frozen bag of collard greens. So now I've chopped up my ham shank and I'm just putting everything in the pot with the collard greens. So 2 things that I forgot to film me adding, and that was sugar and apple cider vinegar. And I added both of those to taste. I've added the onion soup mix and then I'm going to give everything a good stir before I let it simmer. Next on the menu is red beans and rice, and I'm going to start with the rice first. I'm using chicken stock instead of water to give it that extra flavor. And as far as measurements go, I'm following what's on the back of the rice bag, using 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of chicken stock. Now on to the red beans. The ingredients that I'm using are 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, a half teaspoon of black pepper, and a half teaspoon of salt. So now I'm just melting the butter so that I can go ahead and saute my vegetables. I'm going to start with the bell pepper first because it is frozen. I'm adding my onions now that the bell pepper has cooked down, and I'm just going to saute both of those together. Now at this point, I was supposed to add garlic, but as you can see, I did forget. That's okay. And now I'm going to add my chopped sausage and I'm going to mix everything together. The sausage is going to release its flavor into the vegetables, so it's going to have that nice meaty flavor. And then I'm going to pop open my cans of red beans and rice and mix everything together. This is me cutting corners again by using these cans of red beans. Now, I did not have time to soak my actual red beans overnight, so I went ahead and popped open these cans since I had them in the pantry anyway. And now I'm just going to add all of the seasonings to my beans and meat and everything, all the vegetables, and I'm going to mix everything together. Last but not least, I'm going to add 2 bay leaves to give it that subtle hint of flavor. I'm starting with the baked catfish first, and the spices that I'll be using are 1 teaspoon of dried parsley, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of Creole seasoning, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, and then I'm going to add salt and pepper to taste. Before I prepare my fish, I'm going to slice up these lemons, and the purpose of the lemons is to stop the fish from sticking to the bottom of the pan. I don't know if y'all ever cooked baked fish, but whenever you bake fish, it always some kind of way gets stuck to the bottom of the pan. But if you use lemons, it will prevent all of that from happening. Next, I'm going to take some butter. I usually use like olive oil or something, but I'm just using butter today. And the purpose of the butter is to make sure that the seasonings stick to the fish. I've already mixed all of my seasonings together, and I'm just applying a generous amount to both sides of the fish. And on the back side, I'm just going to follow the same process. I'm going to add the butter and then the seasonings. And y'all, this is going to be so flavorful and delicious. Now, if you're wondering why I'm doing baked fish, it's because I'm trying to do better about what I eat. I know I'm going to fry some fish. I might even sample a piece of the fried fish, but for the most part, the baked fish is for me, and I'm just going to add vegetables to my plate. So now I'm just placing the fish onto the lemon wedges, and I'm going to stick it in the oven for 20 minutes. right, let's bake some good old southern fried catfish. I'm adding mustard and 1 egg to my freshly washed and dried fish. The purpose of using mustard is to help the breading stick, and it also makes the fish tender and juicy on the inside. I'm just seasoning up my fish with hot sauce, salt, pepper, and Creole seasoning before I add it to the breading. Y'all, I did not feel like digging for gloves, so I just used my hands, and yes, it was quite messy, but I got everything mixed together, and this is what the fish should look like before you add it into the breading. And for the breading, I'm using Louisiana fish fry because I am a Louisiana girl, and I'm gonna add flour to the fish fry. There's no specific measurements, I just eyeballed it, and this is what it looked like after I mixed everything together. And now I'm just going to add my fish to the breading, and then I'm going to place it into the grease, which is already heating up on the stove.
Like a moving tide.
Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of Jordan's Reviews, and today is a very mouth-watering meal. I can't take my eyes off it. I smelt it from upstairs. I have just been thinking, what has my mother been cooking? Because I've been coming down. I say coming down, I maybe came down like maybe once or twice just to see what she was doing. And I just checked to see, and like, then I just kind of stayed upstairs for a good while, come back down, and what I see before me here is on par with the Thanksgiving dinner. And personally, having that on, what is it, March? I'm losing track of time. March, regardless, it still looks freaking delicious. What we got here is some, I know that for a fact, that's greens with a little bit of steak in it. Mm-hmm. Okay, a little bit of steak in it.
Actually, ham shank.
Ham shank, okay. Ham shank, and then we got some white rice with some beans and some sausage. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a fish. I know how to look from anywhere. I at least know something here, and of course corn. I love it. And freaking, is that a biscuit? Cornbread. Okay, yep. Even better. It looks. Did you do something different with it?
It's the same recipe.
I mean,
straight out the box.
I'm not gonna eat it yet. I'm not gonna take it. I just wanna.
Just extra milk.
Okay, because something looks different about it.
Maybe the extra milk makes it fluffy.
That's what I was thinking.
Probably what it does.
It looked like a straight muffin. And we got some fries over here. They look pretty seasoned to the T. I can't wait to eat those. Strawberry cake.
Yep.
That is going to be the last thing I eat, but I look forward to it. Because personally, one thing on me, I absolutely love strawberry things minus strawberry Pop-Tarts. Actually, that might change. The last time I ate that was like when I was 5. I just didn't like the taste then. But since then, I have changed. I have like changed my palate around. The George Reviews has kind of been like a journey for me. I have been trying things that I otherwise despised as a kid. But then like, I grow up now and did George Reviews and all that whatnot. I actually like it. Courtesy of my mother's cooking, that is, because if I eat it from anywhere else, listen, I'll try it. I don't think I'll like it, but hey, I can't try it and not deny it. Well, I can't deny it and try it. Tongue twister. Anywho, I gotta try it before I deny it. So with all that being said, we're gonna get to reviewing, and so I'm just gonna start off with the simple. We're gonna use a fry, so just get a good look at that. I could take it just one bite, or know that's right. I got the holy seasoning in that mug. Okay, that's delicious. Picking up the fork. Okay, we're gonna go with the greens. Why not? We'll try. Some spilt out. We don't talk about that. Gonna get a little bite there. Very healthy flavor. Very good. Oh, it's very good. Tastes exactly how I. Hang on. That's very good. Delicious. I didn't get too much ham on that, but regardless, pretty fine. Okay. There's three things here. I'm gonna have to look for the perfect combination of getting all of it. So we're gonna. Okay, we got a bit of everything. It's a giant bite, but hey, shake some of that off. That's neither here nor there. I'm not sure how you do it, but I tasted everything that is in that bowl right now. I tasted the beans, a lot of the beans, the rice, and the sausage. Very good, very good. Okay. Gonna set aside the fork just for this one. We're going to try the cornbread. Okay, I don't know why I keep forgetting that name. It's right next to the corn. I mean, this is just the irony. I can say corn, not cornbread. Okay, that's besides the point. Here we go. It's delicious. Let's get that squared away. What took me by surprise is that it's like way softer.
It's the milk. It would almost have to be.
It's the milk. No complaints from me because I like soft foods. Yeah, that's great. It's good for me. I would use a fork, but every time I try using a fork against a corn, you can imagine it never goes well. So we're just gonna, for y'all's sake, we'll take a little bite of it. That's delish. I love it. Okay, I'm not sure. Did you put seasoning on it? Or is that just naturally cooked corn?
Oh, that's just decorated.
That's just decorate. Okay, that's just there for decoration. Okay. It was special, but it's still natural corn. I still love it all the same. We're going to that. Okay, I can use a fork for this one.
For the fish? Oh, look at that.
Heck yeah. Well, I guess I don't need to now because I just needed to take a part off though. Anywho.
Ooh, you hear that crunch?
So good. Delicious. That's what I call it. Okay. Love it. It has the crunch. Y'all remember, I don't tend to like crunchy things, but exception right here. We make exceptions here. That is delicious. I love the crunch for the fish. That actually makes it better, in my opinion. Plus, whatever else you put on it, also made it look. Is this like a what fish is this? Or is it just
catfish?
Catfish. Okay. That's pretty good. Very delicious. I could have never guessed because I have had catfish before, but like the way I don't know what you did to it, but it tasted very delicious, but different in a way. So it's like.
You know it's good when Gabby said it's good. You know she.
Oh sure, yeah. That's how you know it's good. If a picky eater says it's delicious and they really go out the way to eat something, you know. Now, I think we have one last thing. You'll be lucky if I don't eat it all on cameras, but it's the strawberry cake, and it should be. Yeah, it should go without saying that I absolutely love this. We're just gonna get a good close up of that before it disappears, because likely by the time my brother puts this video out, it will be gone. The entire cake may be gone. Take that as you will. All right, let's get a good bite here. It's fighting back. It does. Okay. What is that flavor?
nigga.
Yes! What frosting is this?
It's homemade frosting.
It's good homemade frosting. That's what it is. Okay. I took a slice of heaven. I'll give this all of this. Hang on. What's it? I got it.
I think I need to try this cake.
Okay. I think I'm done. Give this a 1,000,000 out of 10, bro. This whole dinner right here, they got 2 punch, bro. Everything's delicious. Everything, even the greens. I'm normally 50-50 on greens. That's good. But the strawberry cake, that's what, for me, it takes the cake. Because it's just, the frosting really, I don't know what that frosting is, but that's just, wow. I am at a loss for words. So I think you know it's good. So for Jordan's Reviews, it's great. It's good. Check mark. With all that being said, thank you for watching and etc. Y'all already know what to do. I ain't gonna remind you. So Big Mac attack. I gotta go take this and eat. So catch you on the flip side.
Y'all, that food was so good. When that camera turned off, I'm telling you, Jordan got another slice of that strawberry cake. It was so good, so delicious. I can definitely say that I put my foot in that dinner. I cooked so much food. We are going to have leftovers for tomorrow, y'all. The only thing I'm gonna have to do is find a meat to go along with it because they did eat up all of the fish. There is no fish left, so yeah, I'm gonna have to find a meat to go along with all of the sides that I cooked. But the good thing is I don't have to stay in this kitchen all day doing all of this cooking. All I have to do is just throw that meat in the oven and cook it, and they can just eat whatever sides they want to with that. That is saving me time in the kitchen, and that's one thing that is important to me is my time. Now I'm already thinking about next week's Soul Food Sunday dinner. I have to come up with things that I know my family will eat because everybody's palate in this house is different. And groceries are so expensive, so I'm trying to come up with things that I know they will eat and things that you will enjoy seeing me cook. So I'm trying to balance those two things out. So hopefully I can come up with something different and unique for next week's Soul Food Sunday. But that's it for this week's Soul Food Sunday. Let me know down in the comment section, what are y'all cooking this week? I do have a video that's coming out next week. I found a recipe that will save you so much money on your grocery bill. Yeah, I found a new recipe. I'm testing it out to make sure that it tastes right because I don't want to bring anything to y'all that doesn't taste good. So I'm currently testing it out, filming the video. It will be out next week. It will save you money in your grocery budget. Every little penny counts, y'all. Every little penny counts. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Stay safe, and we will chit chat in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.